Today, we are going to learn when to use ser and when to use estar. So the question is not to be or not to be. No, today we're going to focus on to be or to be. Are you confused? No worries, I will walk you through it.
Game begin.
Welcome to Teacher Catalina, my channel where you learn Spanish with a native speaker, a certified Spanish teacher with more than 16 years of experience. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I want to invite you to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss any really important lessons. In previous lessons, I taught you how to conjugate ser and I taught you how to conjugate estar. We also learned that ser means to be and estar means to be. Yes, you definitely heard that right. Ser means to be and estar means to be. Oh, you hadn't put two and two together? That's okay, that happens. But basically in Spanish, we have two verbs that mean to be. So how do I know when to use ser and when to use estar? That is the whole point of this lesson. If you need to review how to conjugate those two verbs, look below and I will give you the link. I will go through them very quickly on the conjugations because the focus is to learn when to use ser and when to use estar. Got it?
Yes.
Perfecto, then let's go to the classroom. Let's go. Muy bien, amigos. So let's go ahead and break this lesson down. First, let's focus on the conjugations of the verb ser. So make sure that you review them so that you are comfortable when we start using them in sentences. So we have soy, eres, es, somos, sois, and son. Those are the conjugations of the verb ser. So now that you have ser under control, let's switch things up a little bit and let's review and focus on the verb estar. Estar. So make sure that you review the conjugations and don't forget those accents. So we have estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están. So now that we went over each one of them separately, let's go ahead and put them here together so that you can see those conjugations all together. So we have the verb ser up top and its conjugations, and we have the verb estar right here and all of its conjugations. These are all present tense conjugations, and we know that the verb ser means to be, and we also know that the verb estar means to be. You already know, or you have learned, some ways to use ser and some ways to use estar. But you've learned them separately and you may or you may have not stopped to think about, should I use ser or should I use estar? So far, it's been memorization. Today, you're going to have to start making decisions when you speak. Should you use ser or should you use estar? Are you ready to jump into those differences?
Let's hear it.
Very good, because remember, the question today, the question of the day is to be or to be. Vamos, let's check that out. So let's make sure that we focus on the verb ser. These are going to be the uses for the verb ser and only for the verb ser. I am going to leave our conjugations there in case you kind of need to reference them. But in order for us to jump straight into when do we use ser, I want you to do the following. I want you to think of a doctor. I want you to think of a doctor. You have that doctor in mind? Very good. So right here, we have the word doctor. I know, Teacher Catalina, you're a little crazy sometimes bringing all these people into our lessons, and that's okay. But here's the deal, guys. Doctor, the word doctor, or thinking of a doctor, is going to help you remember when to use ser.
No way.
Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
Very good. So let's break it down. So let's start with the D in doctor. The D in doctor is going to stand for description, and we're going to use it maybe when we want to talk about our name or our nationality or even our religion or something that describes us. So anything that has to do with description, that D in doctor, we're going to use the verb ser. Let me show you a couple of examples. Yo soy Catalina. Yo soy Catalina. I could also say, yo soy baja. Yo soy baja. I could even say, yo soy de Colombia. Yo soy de Colombia. So all of those examples have to do with description, which is the D in doctor, which tells us that we have to use the verb ser. Again, I said my name is, I am short, I am from Colombia. That's all part of the description. Bien?
Perfect.
Perfecto. So now let's look at the letter O, that first O in doctor. That O is going to stand for occupation. And anytime that we talk about occupations, we're going to use the verb ser. So I may say, yo soy profesora, or él es enfermero, ella es abogada, él es un doctor. Occupations, ser. So now let's take a look at the letter C in doctor. That C is simply to emphasize that anytime we want to talk about characteristics, we have to use the verb ser. So again, we're describing. We may say something like, ella es muy inteligente, or mi hijo es muy trabajador. Mi hijo es muy trabajador. Again, characteristics, use the verb ser. For the T in doctor, we're going to use that to remind us that we have to use the verb ser when we talk about time. Remember when we learned how to tell time? We said, son las dos, es la una. That is because we use ser with time. That means we will also use it for dates. So do remember, we could say, hoy es lunes, mañana es martes. I could also say, mi cumpleaños es el 30 de abril. Mi cumpleaños es el 30 de abril. And again, that has to do with time, so we use the verb ser. To talk about where a person is from, or to talk about what things are made out of, we are going to use the verb ser. So we're going to remind ourselves that that O stands for origin. So maybe I again will say, yo soy de Colombia. Yo soy de Colombia. That's origin. Now, I could also say, son de oro. Son de oro. They're not really gold, but you know what I mean. Son de oro. And the last letter in doctor is that R. And we're going to use that R for relationships. So we need to remember, when we're talking about relationships, we're going to use the verb ser. So I will say, ella es mi mamá. Ella es mi mamá. Él es mi hermano. Él es mi hermano. Ella es la hermana de María. Ella es la hermana de María. She is Maria's sister. So far, we know that we can remember the word doctor to remember to use the verb ser, because we know that D stands for description, that O is for occupation, that C is characteristics, that T is going to be time, that O is origin, and that R is relationships. Ser has been taken care of. Now, let's focus on when to use estar. Before we continue, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps my channel. Okay, so now let's focus on the verb estar. When do we use estar? For estar, we are going to remember the word place. Place. And that will kind of help us remember when to use estar. Are you ready to break it down?
Positive.
Perfecto, let's do it. That P in place has to do with position or location, where you are right now. So maybe I could say, estoy parada, I am standing. Or estoy sentada, I am sitting. Whatever it is, that place, that location, that is going to call for the verb estar. So remember, position or a place, we're going to use the verb estar. The next letter on place is that letter L. And once again, that L stands for location. When you want to talk about the location of a person or thing, we have to use the verb estar, whether that location is temporary or permanent. So we may say, estoy aquí. I am here. But I could also say, la cocina está al lado de la sala. La cocina está al lado de la sala. My kitchen is next to my living room. The A in place is going to stand for actions, and it's primarily used for actions that are happening right now. Do you remember when we learned the present progressive? That's basically what we're talking about, those ing verbs. So when we talk about the actions that are taking place, we use the verb estar. So I could say, estoy hablando. Estoy hablando. The C in place is going to stand for conditions. What do we mean by conditions? Things that could change, primarily things such as illnesses or anything that has to do with emotions. We're going to use the verb estar. So I could say, estoy enferma, I am sick, or él está enfermo. And remember, to be sick is a condition, so we use the verb estar. And finally, to make sure that you understand and remember that E in place stands for emotions. That's why I will ask you, hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm asking how are you feeling? And therefore, we use the verb estar. Estoy feliz, estoy triste, estoy mal, estoy contenta. Whatever emotion you're feeling, when it comes to emotions and feelings, we're going to use the verb estar. So remember, when we use estar, we can remember the word place to help us remember when to use it. So that P stands for position, that L stands for location, that A is action, that C is condition, and that E is emotion. So let's review very quickly. The uses for ser are easily remembered by remembering the word doctor. Doctor. The uses for estar are easily remembered by remembering the word place. Place. I know that is a lot to remember, so I want to give you one more way to try to put that information in a really important place of your brain. ¿Listos?
Let's hear it.
Okay, think about this. How you feel and where you are, that is when you use estar. You got that? How you feel and where you are, that is when you use estar. And that will, for the most part, help you remember when to use estar. And therefore, whatever doesn't fit those, most likely is going to be safe. So in case you haven't noticed, I want to make sure that you can kind of understand this part. Estar is mostly used for temporary conditions, things that could change. Is it always that way? No, but that is a general statement that you can use for the most part. Also, I want to tell you that although we covered the difference between ser and the difference between estar, basically when to use ser and when to use estar, there are other uses that we didn't cover. But we want to make sure that we give you bite-sized lessons so that you can start communicating and speaking. Those uses that we discussed today are the most common and the most important when you're learning how to speak Spanish. Muchas gracias por estar conmigo hoy. Yo soy Teacher Catalina. Yo estoy aquí contigo y estoy muy feliz. Thank you for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel so you and I can keep learning Spanish together. And if you didn't hit that like button yet, this is a great time to do that. Please remember that really helps my channel so much so that I can continue helping and sharing these lessons with everybody. You know what else helps my channel and will also help you? Comments. So that would be a great way that you can help me and support me But that would be also a fantastic way for you to practice your Spanish. So maybe today you can leave a sentence with either the verb ser or with either the verb estar. Or you could even leave 2 sentences, one with ser and one with estar. I will be happy to look over them and even give you feedback. Muchas gracias y nos vemos la próxima vez. ¡Chao!